Hello, and welcome back to the third and penultimate episode of our Scotch Whisky Advent Calendar series.
Mm.
Um, we've got another exciting six not cask strength, but exciting six whiskies from the Advent Calendar, with some being cask strength. So, looking forward to that. Glad it's a Saturday and we don't have to wake up for work tomorrow. There's a few interesting things going on here with some of the whiskey types that we're going to get, which we'll
Yeah, I must admit,
discuss
I
later.
am very excited as
Um,
always.
and there's some interesting stuff. We might have to take a break at some point to regenerate our palate. But if you're ready to
That's
go
slightly concerning that you're saying that, but okay.
into the first whiskey,
Lucky number 13, I believe.
not so lucky for you.
Great start. So,
Yeah. It's,
assumedly peated. Do
well, it's
I?
a 2000. You can guess if you want, actually, but it's going to be difficult because I don't know.
It's gonna. Oh, okay. Never mind. Then. Go on.
So
What we got?
the second in a
Oh well, yeah.
row
Fair enough. Yeah.
undisclosed Isla expression. This is a 2008 undisclosed Isla, 7-year-old at the time of bottling. It's a single malt Scotch, so it's from one place. I guess we could maybe guess if we knew how the cask numbers worked where this came from, because it's cask number 2112. Now,
Surely they'd have been able to guess it though if it was that easy and not call
yeah,
it an undisclosed.
well, they're not. I think it's more about
Oh, they've been told they can't disclose it. Yeah.
yeah,
It's
yeah. I
not
think
even got
that's
like. Oh, it has. Yeah. Yeah. It's single cask nation, isn't it?
yeah. So single cast nation. Interesting story here. First of
Yeah.
all, my family were visiting me this weekend, so I have basically single sourced all of my nosing palate and finish from Joshua, the Jew whiskey guy. Jew malt, I think it was actually. The reason I say Jew whiskey is because it turns out
Mm.
that he actually didn't give the nosing palate and finishing notes for this because his company, Single Cask, his company, the Jewish Whiskey Company, had a bottling company called Single Cask Nation who bottled this. So
Oh
he
wow.
thought it wouldn't be fair to be the person who did the
So
note.
he's actually the guy who bottled or owned the company that bottled this.
Yes. So he passed it on to his friend who
He's
is,
ever so slightly more successful than us, and I thought we were like level pegging with him.
I think he's an American in the whiskey industry who just does the blog as a side gig, if
Right,
that
okay.
makes
So
sense.
like us, but we do the blog as a main gig and his actual jobs as
And
side gig.
yeah. Um, so this is the one that made me say we might want to take a wee break. I've got a big glass of water for dealing with this, but yeah.
Yep. I've got an
So
honest distaste for life for dealing with it.
yeah. But it's I just thought that was quite interesting. So there's no hint as to what this could be, but given that he was the man who said that it's usually uh Kalila,
It's not
uh
particularly peaty on the nose. It's almost quite sherry casky.
it's interesting
There's
because
definitely peat. It's
a,
heavy peat, but
this is a first fill bourbon cask.
is it?
Yes.
No, I've
So,
never been very good at this whiskey tasting malarkey.
but I mean, the so what I've got written for this one is on the nose that it is is a sea breeze, a sea mist, and then a waxy peppermint smoke.
It's quite peppery. I don't know about peppermint, but it could
Mm,
also just be that it's 56.3%.
yeah. Oh yeah. Again, I did say cast strength on this. There are a few cast strengths in here. Uh, not going to tell you how many, but
Okay.
enough.
Right, I'm gonna go in for a sip.
Okay. I mean, I'm very much getting campfire smoke, like heathery campfire smoke.
Yeah.
Like if you got
Oh,
some coastal brush that you used as your tinder.
yeah. That's quite sweet smoke. It's not too bad actually. I don't know if that last one from the last time ruined me,
Mm.
but this is not too bad. It is. I mean, it's almost entirely peat flavour, but it's quite heavy, light. I guess the vanilla from the first fill cask is helping it.
Hmm. Now, yeah. So the palette that they gave for this was tropical fruit, smoke, and iodine. Now, I'm not really getting iodine, but the guy who did this was a doctor, and I think he basically just always gets iodine from Isla whiskies, and it's because it takes him back to the. I think he's a
Well, that always makes
surgeon.
me think of medicinal peat, like iodine and TCP and that. And I wouldn't
Yeah.
call that medicinal peat because medicinal peat is rank.
No,
That's
I think
definitely heavy peat.
he's obvious. So what he said was that iodine, the iodine that you get from and TCP that you get from Isla malts is why he likes them, because it reminds him of work, and he likes his work.
Fair. I mean,
Which, to be fair, you'd hope that your surgeon enjoyed his work, not phoning it in.
Yeah, yeah. How many more of these do I have to do? Yeah. Especially if he's an American and therefore could just, it's not like they're over here where they paid 50p.
Yeah.
They're actually pretty.
You could just give up halfway through and be like, you know what, I've made enough money.
Yeah, he's just got like a countdown on his phone. He's like, oh, never mind, I've made it.
Yeah.
Just suture him up, he'll be right.
Yeah, it might also, it might be the cash strength that's covering it, but it's not actually as peaty. The peat flavour's there, but it's not super smoky.
It fades quite quickly as well.
Yeah.
Like the finish is very light on peat.
Yeah, so what they've got for the finish is that it's long and warm with a peppery mentholness, and I can get the mentholness. I think that is just.
I think it's the alcohol making it. Alcohol
making it feel mentholy, but
that's not unpleasant
Mm.
for a peated one. I'd say it's got a. I would go with a Kalila or maybe a Bruichladdich, something like that.
Yeah, I think probably a Kalila. Oh, I don't know that my throat was ready for cash strength there, but
I don't think it's one of the big three. It certainly don't feel like a Ardbeg or a Lager or a Laugh.
Well, it definitely doesn't feel like an Ardbeg, I don't think.
No, wrong kind of peat.
I could see it being a Lagavulin that they would.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't know well enough to be able to pick them out.
That they didn't want to, that they wouldn't use in their normal stuff, but
I don't know if many people could, to be fair. I don't know if many people blind tasting could be like, that's a Lafroig and that's a Lagavulin. They're like right next to each other.
What this guy said was, from the nose, he thinks probably Northern Isla. So this guy knows his Islas, and that would
Northern
imply
Isla's Kalila or Boona.
Yeah, and
they don't often do peated ones, do they? But
so now I need to give my mouth a minute.
Yeah.
But we can introduce and talk about the next one if you want. I can maybe get a smell.
Oh, do you want to score this one?
Oh yeah, we should probably score that one. You can go first.
I'll go over 3, I think, on that.
I was going to give it 3.5. So
yeah, I didn't hate that.
Fairly scored, I think.
Yeah, it's still a bit too peated for me. I still think it'd be nicer without the peat, but it certainly wasn't unpleasant. I could have multiple.
Yeah, not unpleasant. That's like if you were to give out prizes for Isla whiskies, that would be that mean it like won your award.
Yeah, that's like a 5 for a peated one. Yeah, I could. The thing is, if someone had that as a bottle, and we were sat enjoying it for an evening, I could have another.
Yeah, you wouldn't be like, you'd be like, wait till the end of the night, but I might have that again.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, give me 40 minutes to clear my palate so I can have a different whiskey.
Yes. Just clear out the jigger. Just end up looking like I've wet myself every time.
Spilling your.
Yeah, point. I've got a little jug. I've got one of them little Glencairn jugs. I should use that.
Yeah. I just, because we've discussed this before, but because mine's a little sort of tankard shape, I just plunge it in like it's plunging.
Yeah.
Barrel of ale.
I think I said that last time. I should have got one.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a cool distillery. I don't like to say I think it was slightly overshadowed by the one we went to previous, but I just really, really liked the one we went to previous. They got like the marketing on point for me.
Well, yeah. They were a modern distillery for sure.
But the way they like split everything by like hospitality department and that was just like our fake company.
Yeah. They had definitely just like fully leaned into it as a thing.
Yeah, it was very good. Right.
Ready for whiskey number 2/14?
It's like 2/14. I am.
Okay. Do you want me to tell you? You want me to let you? Do you know what I'll say? I could give you a
card in the back of this box.
I'm not sure. What I was going to say is I could give you 3 guesses at what's in this one, and you would need to get them all right to be right.
All right, give me a second.
struggling to.
There was a
Get
little
him.
piece of paper in the.
Huh.
So if you went to the Secret Spirits and entered this code and voted for your 3 favorite whiskies, you were entered into win the next one.
Oh, well, we're a bit late for that.
Yeah, unless as dealer comes through for us again.
Yeah, but I don't think we're going to get it for free unless we significantly improve our.
We just tell him that his new friend who's now getting it is not that
Yeah.
great with money. So if you just kept ratcheting up the price on him alone, he wouldn't notice.
Yeah.
And therefore, it's £200 every 2 months now. You notice that, guys? Yeah, I couldn't believe it went up that high.
I mean, it's good whiskey, though, isn't it?
Yeah. Right, 3 guesses and I have to get all 3 right.
Yeah.
Give me a hint. Can you give me a hint?
I'll give you a hint on a region.
A region. Go on then.
Yeah. Speyside.
Yeah, okay, that's narrowed it down to like 90.
Yeah.
Go on then. Have we been to the distillery?
No.
Ooh.
So you missed out on the main hint I gave you so far.
Well, then it's Speyside.
No. If I gave you 3 guesses, you would have to get all 3 right.
If you gave me 3 guesses, I'd have to get all 3 right.
On where this was distilled.
So what is it, a blend?
It's a blended malt.
Ah.
I'll tell you what it's called. It won't help.
Is it 3 Speyside ones?
Yes.
Wow.
That we've not been to.
3 Speyside ones we've not been to.
Yeah.
There's not that many Speyside ones we haven't been to.
I don't know that you can go to many of these, but yeah.
All right, go on. I'll stop torturing everybody. Let's have a look.
Yeah.
Tell us what it is.
First of all, it's another 2008 7-year-old. But this one is Samaroli by Samaroli. And it's a blended malt from Glenallachie, Glentalkers, and Macduff.
I think you can go to the first 2. I don't know if they've got visitor centres, but I think you can go to them still.
Yeah.
I'll have a look while you tell us about it.
Well, exactly. So it's a blended malt from those 3 distilleries. That was the main information I had for you on this. It's all in American oak. 3 casks blended by Samaroli, who are our featured bottler that I'll be talking about not now, but soon.
So the Glenallachie you can visit.
Oh.
They've got 3 tours. And one of them is the Connoisseurs tour. And then they've got a bunch of tastings as well.
Does the Connoisseurs tour come with a big tasting? Because that sounds like what it would be.
Tutored tasting of some of our most exceptional whiskies, as well as a £10 voucher.
Yeah, sounds about right.
So each of them comes with a significant tasting by the sounds of it, but it's like better and better. It's £60 a go, that Connoisseurs tour, and it's 2 hours. So it should be, sounds all right to me. But I just like to plan as next distillery visits.
Yeah.
Because I think you owe me one soon, even though it was literally like last month that we did one.
Yeah.
I feel like you owe me a Speyside one at some point. I don't know how I've worked that out. Just have
not like a one in a major city or something.
Yeah. Just I think you all owe me a drive up to Speyside again.
Maybe we'll wait till I replace the car. I don't know.
Yeah.
Gotten rid of it, but yeah.
So Glentalkers is owned by Gordon and MacPhail.
Okay. Well, that's handy that I put in my Gordon and MacPhail glass.
Yeah. Oh, so Glenallachie is just outside Aberlour.
Yeah. I think we've seen Glenallachie, but we haven't.
We could have probably walked there.
Yeah.
It's not too far from Aberlour.
That was our first real trip when we were in Aberlour.
Yeah. I think that was the one where we got back to the hotel one evening and you were like, do you want to go over to the mash tun for a couple more? And I was like, I can't drink any more whiskey.
Yeah.
And you were like, I'm glad you said that because I can't either. I don't think we'd be there these days.
No. We'd just be like, all right, how are we fitting more whiskey in?
As tolerance has significantly increased.
Yeah.
Plus, we're more professional about it now. Back then, we were just doing it as a bit of fun, not as work.
Yeah.
Now, obviously.
We hadn't trained our livers properly, is what you mean.
Yeah, I mean, mine died ages ago.
Yeah.
Just goes straight into the bloodstream now. Right. Sorry, distracting everybody with this nonsense. Let us
sniff.
Yes. Yeah, that's nice way of putting it. But yeah.
This one's really interesting,
Ooh.
actually. On the,
Like vanilla-y baked goods,
I'm getting like
biscuits, like shortbread.
pear drops.
Oh, okay. It's not quite sweet enough for me to be like.
That's why I went for pear drops, because I always feel like they're
Yeah.
not really that sweet if I've hard boiled sweet.
I'm gonna put pear drops in shortbread because I'm getting like kind of vanilla biscuit. So that's at least it's easy to write what it is because it's 2000.
Yeah.
Samaroli by Samaroli.
Yeah. The nose and notes I got for this, they gave peppermint, chamomile tea, pear, and lemon water.
So, is there a story as to why it's called Samaroli by Samaroli?
I didn't find one, but again, I didn't give it a deep dive on this. I could Google that, but
Nah, don't worry about it. I just wondered if you come across it in your wanderings. Sorry, I'm making small talk while I just quickly fill in the details on our master spreadsheet. Right, pear drops and shortbread. Let's go for a taste, shall we?
yeah.
Very light.
Let's have a go. I think I had a look. I think Samaroli by Samaroli is just a range.
Okay, that's quite woody, but in quite a pleasant way, like a vanilla-y.
I just got a buttery smell.
Yeah, butter. It's like it's salted butter. Maybe like buttered popcorn.
Yes. Almost exactly that.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah, no, buttered popcorn, cinema popcorn.
Yeah. It's got that. It's very nice.
Yeah, I mean, I don't get any of the notes that they gave for this.
What did you say they were again? Sorry.
Peppery, floral with peppermint and tea. I can maybe get tea, but
Tea,
milky tea.
maybe. Yeah, like a really milky tea.
Yeah, like a builder's tea almost. But.
Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't say.
They said the finish is heathery. The main thing that they wrote for this was that it's basically going from a punch in the face to like a cozy wrapped up winter's day.
I wouldn't call it a cozy wrapped up winter's day. It's too light.
I think he just meant like.
Yeah,
like,
that last one was definitely a punch in the face. This is more like a pat on the shoulder.
Yeah, I feel like this would be like a good appetizer whiskey.
Yeah. I don't think you'd want it with like
before a meal.
Yeah, red meat or something. I think it'd be overpowered. But that's very pleasant.
Probably go well with, given Samaroli are Italian, I think it would probably go well with like your sort of classic, like your cacio pepe or like a proper Italian carbonara kind of
I was
pasta.
thinking carbonara, yeah, because of the white sauce.
Yeah. I mean, carbonara is literally just eggs in Italy, eggs and cheese. But
is it not like the
no cream? No.
Oh, I knew they cracked an egg in the middle.
So the way that you make the easy way to make carbonara is you combine like an egg and an egg yolk with grated parmesan, not parmesan technically, it should be what's the garlicky cheese they have that's similar to parmesan? Well, it's a different hard cheese. I can't remember what it's called now. And then you mix them up until you get a paste, and then you cook your pasta. And you cook your pasta in a bowl. You cook your like pancetta. No, it's the meat that should be garlicky, but you cook your cured ham basically in our pan, and then when your pasta's ready, you chuck the pasta in the pan with the cured ham, and you dump the
heat of it cooks the egg
paste,
like
and it cooks the egg and turns it into a sauce, and you use pasta water to thin it out until it's the right consistency, and that's it done. It's like
well, it's not quite. how I do a carbonara, but yeah, I mean,
And cacio e pepe is literally just pepper and cheese. Just literally
Yeah.
called cheese and pepper. But yeah, you have you some places do it where they have a hollowed out big parmesan wheel
right.
and they just chuck the cheese in and then they mix it through. They have like a whole plate of ground pepper and they just slap it into that and then they chuck it in there. So they basically melt the cheese onto the pasta and then use the melted cheese to pick up the pepper and then that's it.
I mean, it sounds pretty good, even
I
being
love
so
it.
simple.
I do love Italian foods.
Yeah,
That was
it's very
literally the
good.
best thing about Rome. I was just like, oh, look at all this cool stuff, but food.
Yeah, they do have
Like,
some of the
oh,
best food. It depends how I'm feeling. Italian food is amazing, but so is Greek.
yeah, Greek's pretty. I mean, the region down there. Is
Yeah,
pretty good.
yeah, that whole region. Yeah, because like if you get like Turkish or Lebanese or whatever,
Yeah.
is also amazing.
I'm sure if I was sent there now sent to France now as an adult, I'd probably also be like, oh, the food's amazing. But
Yeah, France has got amazing food as well. Yeah.
But
and Spain.
And Germany and Portugal, but yeah.
Yeah, Germany's got amazing. Yeah, pretty much everywhere but Britain, pretty much.
Yeah.
And
Well,
we've
we
got
just
pretty good
steal it.
food
We
if you go to
just
the right
take
places.
everyone else's good food and make it ours. Yeah.
I still quite like some traditional British dishes.
A good pie. Yeah.
Yeah, not wrong with a good pie.
Steak and ale pie. Sorry.
Do you want to score this one?
Yeah, I would say that I really enjoyed that actually. I'd probably give that a 4.
Yeah, I think a 4. I was toying with a 4.5, but no, I think a 4 is fair. It was very, very nice. Okie.
So up next we've got some age coming in. So those two were 7 years old.
Yes.
They were, young but good, I would say.
Yes.
Up next we have a very interesting one actually for a Scotch.
Okay.
Can you imagine what would make a type of whiskey be interesting given that it's Scotch?
Is it a grain rather than a malt?
It is.
That wasn't a bad guess.
No. And then the cask type is also interesting because it is a type of cask combined with a size of cask that I'm not used to seeing.
Huh. So what, a small sherry one or a...
Well, it's a hogshead.
Yeah.
But of bourbon.
Oh, I didn't even know they existed.
Exactly. This is back to cask strength.
Oh, I'm going to enjoy this.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
This is an extremely aged Invergordon.
Invergordon is the one I've got like a 45-year-old of.
Yes. So basically the Joshua, by the way, who's the guy who owns
good name, by the way.
Yeah. He said, I will never say no to an opportunity to try a cask strength Invergordon. Because
no, me neither.
They're very good. But yeah, so an Invergordon, 1991, 24-year-old. This is pretty old. 24 years of grain in a
single grain is so massively underrated.
Yeah.
I mean, fortunate because, like I say, I've got a bottle of 45-year-old Invergordon, and I could not afford a bottle of 45-year-old single malt.
No.
Not without significant pain.
Or like deciding you don't need a house anymore.
Yeah. Single grain. I mean, it wasn't cheap. Don't get me wrong, but it wasn't.
Well, 45 years of aging, it shouldn't be cheap. There's work has been done there.
Yeah. And
even
not
if
from
it's
like
just
some non-brand neither. It's not,
Yeah, even if it's just moving that barrel around warehouses, work has still been put in to
exactly. Yeah.
keep it going.
Yeah, it's older than we are, just about.
Got some interesting notes on this one as well, but
is it?
First thing I'm looking at on this is the legs. It's basically 60%. It's 59.9.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Not getting a great deal of legs.
I've got some. It's quite slow, I think, is what I'm getting at.
Oh yeah, okay.
So that's.
I
think it's quite oily, but.
That's handling it strengthful in the smell. I'm not blowing out my sinuses.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's like typical kind of buttered crumpets, vanilla-iness from a single grain.
The note they gave was gingerbread, and then further down after some spiel, engine oil. Not sure I'm getting that.
Yeah, so those two closely interlinked. Hate it when I'm eating a gingerbread man. I'm like, this smells like engine oil.
I can get some kind of like petroleum product,
I,
but it's
I kind
probably
of got
just
a
the
little bit of
strength.
chemicaliness, but I wondered if it was the strength.
Yeah, but gingerbread. I'm guessing being an American, they'll be thinking more of the bready
Not
type of
actual
gingerbread
gingerbread.
rather
Yeah.
than like the biscuity type of gingerbread that we have. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm ready to
Like,
go
I
for
mean, they call biscuits the wrong thing, didn't they?
sorry, the cookie type of gingerbread.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm ready
Right.
for a sip. So if you are,
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, that's lovely.
Oof.
Super vanilla-y.
The finishes.
Yeah. That's
Like
just panna cotta,
on
vanilla.
on the so yeah, vanilla beans, dairy, like oiliness, but like good oiliness, like
Yeah, it makes it like,
thickness
viscous. Yeah.
was what they had for their palate. But they've got ginger pepperiness for the finish. Now that's not what I would say for the finish. The finish for me, that was interesting. I'm gonna have to go in again to get it, but
Not getting a lot of burn to say it's 60%.
no, they're very smooth. That was something they did say. It's like you wouldn't. Yeah, it's not harsh for a.
No, it's very smooth for 60%.
Mhm. It has that graininess. So when you get the start of the finish, which sounds like an oxymoron, but the start of the finish on grain, there's this
Yeah.
sort of spicy blossom, and then it settles into what the flavour is actually going to be. If you know what I mean.
Mhm.
Like there's like a as it exits your mouth and the air pass like the not even air but the
I know what
vacuum
you mean. You do
passes
get that.
down. It's almost like a flare of like I could have got you,
Pepperiness.
and then
Yeah.
like it goes away and it goes back to this one goes back to the that creamy
I
like
mean, yeah,
panna
for
cotta.
me, it's getting to the point where single grains might eclipse single malts. I do really love a single grain.
They're pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I love a sherry bomb single malt. Or I love some of the lighter ones as well. Some of the sweeter vanilla-y ones. But single grains are just, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to go wrong. Like I've got 3 single grains at the moment.
I
I've got
think the
2
best
from
thing with a
Teeling.
single grain is that there's no real risk.
Yeah. Yeah, there's no real. That's probably a good point. Maybe a weakness of them. There's no real variety. They're just better or worse at those flavors, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's like a single malt can taste like all sorts. A single grain is generally vanilla-y, panna cotta-y, gorgeous, but I've never had a single grain that doesn't taste like that.
Yeah, similar to rye.
Yeah. Although, yeah, rye's a strange one because when the English Whiskey Festival, we had those Oxford ryes, they were amazing.
Mm,
And then the Scotch Whiskey Festival, we had those ryes, and they weren't particularly good.
yeah. More what I mean is that the flavor profile of rye is just different types of spicy.
Mm.
You know.
And I do wonder if a lot of it is because they're more niche. We're only tasting basically the same single grain over and over and over.
Maybe.
You know, they're finished in the same casks,
Yeah.
are made in the same way. Whereas you know, look at the single malts we've been trying recently, or the new
Different
makes we've been trying.
yeasts and stuff.
Different yeasts, whole variety. I mean, what different casks have we had? We've had cider, beer, rum, loads of different wines, sherries.
Tequila, mezcal. What's that other one? What's that other Mexican spirit?
I can only think of tequila and mezcal, to be
There's
honest.
another. It's maybe not Mexican, but yeah, yeah. We've
But
had them
yeah,
in
we must have had
all
over 10
sorts of
different
stuff
cask types. You know,
easily. Yeah. I mean, we've probably had 10 different wine types.
Yeah, fair. So yeah, I think maybe that's the thing, because they're not as popular. No one's really exploring them fully. Now, Teeling, I have a Teeling single grain that's done in wine casks, and that does taste slightly different.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll see more of that as single grain becomes more popular. I don't know.
Hopefully.
I always hope so. Hopefully we'll stumble across a distillery similar to the two we just visited, where they're trying out different single grains rather than different yeasts. Or
hopefully.
Did you want to score that one?
I would also like to give that 4, I think.
Yeah, I'm going 4.5.
I could see
It
why.
was very good. It's one of those moments where, like, the last one was definitely a 4, but that was definitely better. But I also don't know if it's a 4.5 stacked up against previous 4.5s.
I could definitely see how 100, 1 to 100 with decimals scoring system allows you to be more granular on this.
Yes, I'm starting to wonder if maybe we've got to that point where we've drunk enough of them.
Yeah.
We've got enough of a backlog, enough of a
do
history,
more...
that maybe we should be a bit more discerning.
Yeah.
We'll not do it for the advent calendar, seeing as we're
Definitely
quarters of the way through. But watch this space. Maybe we'll
have a think anyway.
Maybe the fancy box is the time to do it.
Yeah, we'd maybe
It's
do.
the first fancy box, isn't it?
I think so. Yeah.
I can give that first one 0 out of 100.
Yeah, there you go. Right. So.
Yes. Sorry.
Are you ready for me to tell you about one of our bottlers?
I am. Yes. It's always fine. It's very interesting.
We have 2 stories of bottlers left. Now we had a single cask nation, which there's no story about them in here, but I lucked on a story about who they were.
Okay.
The actual, so what's left is Samaroli and the Malt Whiskey Co. And it's the next whiskey coming up is a Samaroli, so I feel like it makes sense that we dive into the Samaroli history.
Yeah.
So the Samaroli since 1968. So Silvano Samaroli is Italian born and passionate about whiskey. He started buying casks from Scottish distilleries in 1968. At that time, he was the only non-British investor that saw the long-term potential of aging whiskey and releasing it as single cask offerings. Silvano passed the responsibility of continuing his legacy into the next generation to Antonio Bleve, maybe Bleve, don't know how to pronounce that, but in 2008. Antonio, through dedication and commitment to the Samaroli ideals, tastes through hundreds of casks and only chooses exceptional whiskies that will carry the Samaroli name. Today, the Samaroli selections include well-known closed or demolished distilleries. Samaroli strives to bottle only exceptional expressions of the distilleries that their barrels were born from. Samaroli is recognised as a company that cares about attention to detail and will not compromise on their aim to release only the most outstanding whiskey. Here are some of the criteria that make Samaroli whiskies amongst the most sought-after independent bottlings in the world. Samaroli assess and judge each cask individually to ascertain if it is a unique and delicious expression of a distillery, and offers consumers an insight into how complex and distinctive a single cask in that distillery could be. They also complete a detailed analysis of the conditions surrounding each cask. These include location, cask type, age, and style of spirit to ensure that a balanced whiskey is the result. Also, they choose barrels by focusing on single casks. Samaroli works to show consumers how incredible the best whiskies produced by a distillery can be. Where distilleries blend together any number of barrels combining the best with the mundane to create a consistent product, Samaroli will only choose the most amazing casks. Therefore, the Samaroli philosophy is search for quality, with the idea that their choices are as unique as we are. So, as unique as we are. Very nice of them. I mean, I don't know how unique any human actually is. I think it's just all the Matrix and that.
We're all the same.
Yeah. But it's different.
I like it though. It's
yeah. So that's their story basically. An Italian guy was like, "Yeah, There's a gap in this market.
Yeah. I was just looking up the 3 distilleries, sorry, in the background. You know, the 3 from that blend.
Yeah.
So Glenallachie is literally just down from Aberlour. Glentork is up in a bit we haven't yet been towards. It's just outside of Keith, a little bit outside of Keith. And Macduff Distillery is at Macduff, which is just near Banff.
Yeah.
So up on the north coast.
Yeah.
That's a good point, actually. We've never done the coast while we've been up there. Elgin's not far off the coast, and neither's Forres, but
Yeah, it's not on the coast.
yeah, we haven't actually done the coast drive up there. It's like 50 miles between Glenallachie and Macduff, so
Wouldn't walk it, but
probably impossible to public transport it as well. But yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Anyway, that was really interesting. It's good to. I don't know. I feel like Italian Scottish is a good combination.
Probably.
Personally.
That's what all the chippies in Edinburgh are. More, not all, but mostly.
Yeah,
My
I just
favourite.
think.
Me and my friend wrote a song about our favourite Italian chippy in Edinburgh.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Franco's. It went something like, it was like in pop punk chords, and it went like, Franco, how are you, my friend? Because that's how he'd always say when he's seen you.
Right.
But yeah, I can't remember how the rest of it went. I just remember that bit.
Is it as good as Gandolfi's?
I don't know.
I mean, that's
I've
owned by
never-
a wizard.
Yeah, Italian wizard.
Well,
Isn't he Gandolfi?
yeah. Whether he is actually Italian wizard or he's just hiding from a Balrog, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're on to 16.
Yes. /4.
16/4. Nice.
We've
Something.
been here.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Is it another Space Cider?
It is. We got a pretty special tour here.
Special tour.
Yeah.
So, is it Benriach?
It is. And this here is a 19-year-old from 1996.
Oh, I don't think we've had an old Benriach.
I don't think we have either. So this should be pretty special.
Although they've got it wrong with the R from back then, shouldn't it be a capital
It might
R?
be 1996. Might predate that.
Yeah, fair point. Yeah.
So.
Just a casual 19-year-old Space Cider in there.
This is back at 43% as well, so they've at least not killing us.
Yeah, they give us a bit of a break each time.
Not that first box, but that first 6. But yeah, they wanted you to get really drunk at the start of Christmas.
To be fair, there was a lull in the middle.
Yeah.
It went 61, 59, 43, 46, 57, 61.
Yeah. But I mean, it has been a fairly consistently high.
It has, yes. High ABV.
Yeah.
Calendar, but I mean, it's meant for Christmas, isn't it? So you're meant to be getting a little bit pissed.
And who really works in December?
Who really works in March?
I mean, it's Easter, isn't it? You know.
Yeah, he came back.
I mean, I'm on Lent. How am I supposed to eat? Not able to have any chocolate.
Yeah. Like the original prank YouTuber was Jesus. Oh, I'm dead. 3 years later. 3 days later. Not really.
Yeah. So I don't have a lot of notes on this. I just I was going to mostly just mention how we saw some similarly aged casts up close and personal when we were there. But
yep, shout out to the Benriach tour because it was amazing.
Mostly because it was just us that were on it. Also, we didn't realise, but they do their own maltings. So
yeah, and also like the tour guide was really, really good as always. I don't think we've ever had a bad tour guide.
Nah. I feel like it's the sort of job that you only do if you're actually interested in it.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah. Yeah, this is.
You know, I have noticed about tour guides at Scotch distilleries though.
What?
Very few men.
Yes, it's true. Probably like make them go and do all the heavy lifting.
What was that about being cancelled?
No, I was more meaning that in general, like distilleries tend to be in remote rural areas where that sort of gender, you know.
Yeah, I suppose.
Gender job still gets by, but yeah.
I'm trying to think of the blokes we've had. There was Stuart at the Holyrood, the most recent.
I saw
What about Tullibardine? That was a bloke.
Oh yeah, there was a guy there. He had some good jokes. I do think that my one thing I would say about the male tour guides is that they tend to insert themselves more into their tour.
Yeah. Kilkerran was a bloke as well.
Which one was Kilkerran?
Campbelltown, second.
Oh
third
yes,
one we did of the day. Yeah. Post Springbank.
I mean, wasn't that just us? I feel like
Yes.
they were like, oh, someone actually took the Kilkerran tour, right? Back.
Yeah, everyone else. We went straight from Springbank to Kilkerran, basically on the same premises.
Yeah.
The tour started at the same place.
Yeah.
And Lefroy or Lagavulin, whichever one did the tour of, that was a bloke.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, I say that guy was the one who least inserted his own.
Yes, I would say so. Yeah. Anyway, what are we getting?
What are you getting?
That is an odd smell. I'm trying to pin it down.
So, for me, it's almost paraffin-y.
Yeah, I could go with that. Yeah.
Got that old oil like paraffin lampy, like the smell of a wick from that, or when you snuff it out, and the soot you get after you finished, which doesn't smell like burnt stuff. It still smells oily. But what they gave as a note for this was, you might not know what these are, but there's an old like sweet shop sweet that are called Cherry Lips, but they're like a very waxy sweet.
I don't know those.
No. I can understand why they are waxy, but like
you get paraffin wax, don't you?
Paraffin wax is what I think is where he's getting it from. And then he said or a soapy fruit flavor, or soapy fruit smell, which I could also get.
But again, you're going back to oils because saporification uses oils in it.
Yeah. So it's basically a sweet oily smell.
So I was cheeky and went in for a taste. It's tropical fruits, I would say, but like, you know, the that we always say it's like the juice from the tropical fruit tin.
Yeah. Oh right, yeah.
Kind of like diluted, but it's there. It's like muted tropical fruits. What do you reckon?
Yeah, he's given malty, waxy, cherry lipstick.
I mean,
malt is a cheat. It's malt whiskey.
Yeah, waxy might be because like it's muted flavors.
Yeah.
But it's not malty. I would dispute that.
Yeah.
It's just another one for my namesake, tasting wise.
Yeah, they're all from him, apart from that first one this time.
I would dispute my namesake there.
I would just say it's quite fruity enough.
It's that muted waxiness.
Yeah, the finish is just quite sweet.
Yeah. Yes.
Like syrupy.
I don't know if quite that sweet, but yeah, almost.
With the same level of mutedness, like if you try and ignore, it's like you're tasting these tastes through a paper bag, sort of thing, you know, like.
No, I know what you mean. Almost.
Like if they were a milkshake of the flavor.
Yeah. Oh, it was like a protein powder version.
Yeah. So it's like.
Yeah.
I can see why that's what you think.
Couple of steps removed. Be like, yeah, I get the hint. Yeah, maybe.
One of the best protein flavors I've had. I'm actually getting a bit sick of it now, but blueberry cheesecake.
I'm quite a big fan of the cinnamon Danish. I go for
cinnamon Danish is very good, yeah. But the thing that makes the blueberry cheesecake work is that you know how there's always that sort of whey flavor in it.
Yeah.
That's cheesy a bit.
Yeah, I suppose.
Well, so the blueberry cheesecake just absolutely leans into that.
Yeah. I might give that a go next time.
Yeah. I wouldn't say get a big bag. It's quite sickly.
They're all quite sickly.
Yeah, but as a
The cinnamon
milkshake
one's not
of
too
it,
bad, to be fair, in terms of sickliness.
Yeah. If you have it with milk as well, so
I don't do milk with my protein shakes.
I like plant milk with mine.
I'm
Too many
cutting
cows in normal milk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've always had it with water. Always been.
I just get my clear. I splash out for the clear way when I want to have it with water, but it is expensive.
Yeah, I'm not as highly paid as you.
I think you are, but we live in a much more expensive place.
Nah, not really. No, I'm just tight and not spending on a huge life event at the moment. That was very good.
Sorry, I was distracted thinking about money.
Yeah, it does that to me as well.
Yeah, I've still got some of this left. I'm just going to get my last drink. But
Yeah,
if you're
go for
willing
another
to
sip.
score, then
No, go for another sip. No rush. Yeah, I don't have. I don't think I've got any more taste notes to add. I was just thinking. I think I do have an old Benriach in the house. But like, when I say old, I think it might be a 21.
Oh,
I'll have a look.
old. Like an actual Benriach 21 bottle.
Yeah, I think so.
With the old branding.
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah.
Because they're back to spelling it without a capital R.
I much prefer the new branding.
Yeah. I don't really like the Glenallachie branding now.
Yeah, that weird capital. The thing is, it's because it reminds me of my old Warcraft guild, because that was one of the words in there was forever.
But
and
had
the
a
first
capital
E, yeah, but that wasn't because the person I reinstated a guild from my guild that I joined when I was a kid. I reinstated it as the guild leader with the old guild leader's permission, and so I named it the same thing. But it always used to wind me up because I'd have never done that.
Yeah.
I'd have never called it that to begin with, but yeah.
You should have called it 5 ever because it's more than 4 ever.
Yeah, I reformed it for him and he just never took it back. Did you want to score that one then?
I'd give that another 3.5, I think.
I think a 3.5, yeah.
Okay.
On to number 5.
Yeah. Number 5, also known as number 17.
Yep.
So this is the second.
Less pleasing than 16 and 4.
Yes. The square comparison there was pretty good. So we've had one from this distillery before in this box.
In this box or in this run?
In this box. And I gave you a hint that we'd been to the place, but not a distillery.
Oh. Is it Glenkeith?
No.
Was it? It wasn't Dufftown, was it?
No.
God
There
damn
are
it.
a number of whiskey-related things to do in this area that aren't just.
Oh, it's Craigalackie.
Yes. So
yeah,
we're
you were
back
thinking
there.
you were suggesting Speyside Cooperage.
Yes.
Good man.
And the Highlander and Craigalackie Inn, which has Copper Dog, I believe, is there.
Yeah.
So we're into finally, for the first time this run, we get our preferred finish.
Oh.
But it is on a very young whiskey. So
it is quite young, but it's if
for
you,
the box.
I'm guessing by preferred finish. Are you suggesting our preferred finish or your preferred finish?
Our preferred finish. Overall.
So it's sherry cask. Yeah.
I said but yeah.
Yeah, I was meaning cask in the general sense.
Yeah. But I was just being a pedant, because if you can't be a pedant,
well, that's what we are, isn't it? We're whiskey pedants.
So it's only 6 years old, from 2008.
Is this? It's not. I'm going to drink it. It's not beneath us at all.
I mean, we drink noise statements all the time, so
And generally rave about how like age is no measure of quality of a whiskey.
yeah, you could absolutely ruin it by leaving it in for 5 years.
And some of the best whiskies we've ever had have been no age statements. A
Yeah.
booner is a no age statement,
Exactly.
and I bloody love a booner.
Okay. What do you think? They've been quite a light colour, but again, it is a young.
They've all been quite light today.
Yeah. I mean, the first two
Ooh.
were 7-year-olds from Virgin Oak, or from not Virgin Oaks, but American Oak and
First fills.
First fills. So you don't get a whole lot of colour out of a bourbon.
I mean, it's
Yes.
definitely got your sherry smells. That's definitely caramelized sugar to me.
So there is, yeah, but it's not what they're getting that I get, but they got peanut butter. Then they had a weird tasting note saying that there's a hint of bile, but then when that goes away, it's like leather and apricot. I'm not getting bile.
That's like a sour beer.
Yeah,
You get that sometimes.
but like, well, sometimes you get the aftertaste of bile in sours, but
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just have to have another sip and hope that it tastes like whatever fruity flavour they managed to imbibe it with.
Yeah, you just have to try and push it deep down.
This tastes like iron brew until I swallow, and then
Don't think about it. I don't know what bile smells like. I don't think.
probably acrid.
Yeah.
I'm not getting anything like that. I am getting some.
It's kind of
butteriness
acrid.
to
When
it,
you said
so,
that, like overly caramelized sugar, like it's burned a little bit.
maybe, yeah. I would say it's more. It's got like a. Oh wait, there we go. That was when I let the alcohol hit my nose. It smelled a bit worse. But
I think there
I'd
is
say
some
I'm
suggestiveness.
hunting for this.
That's the thing. I think once someone tells you a tasting note, you generally pick it up.
I'm just getting like almost like fudge tablet-y smells.
Yeah, typical sherry smells.
Yeah, but like that level, like not caramel, but like actual like
One up fudge,
yeah,
more vanilla.
yeah.
Let's see what it tastes like.
You want to go first, and then I'll follow in.
Quite spicy. It's quite fudgy. Yeah, I'll give you that. Quite vanilla-y. It's definitely got kind of that sherry wideness to it, that wide mouthfeel that we enjoy. Or was it with a creamy mouthfeel?
Yeah. 5 salty and a creamy mouthfeel. That was a nice Campbelltown we had.
A classic episode there.
Yeah.
Maybe we ought to start doing YouTube shorts again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
that's just very pleasant.
I disagree
Not
with
a sherry bomb.
almost all of the tasting notes on this. So they said that there's a hint of new make to it, which I'm not getting. Then they said sour pears and hay.
No.
Maybe the hay, but only like as
maybe like the very wide mouthfeel bit is like the there is a bit of cerealness to it, maybe. Yeah.
And then in the finish they got like pears and nectarines. But
no, it's nowhere near that fruity.
No. I think it's mostly like
it's ish for a sherried whiskey. It's vanilla fudge, like you said.
Like a fudge sauce or something.
It's almost got that chalkiness to me of the fudge.
I just got the sort of new make hits there when I took a really, really thin sip.
What would you say a new make hit is like then? Just like it that kind of alcohol fruitiness.
Yeah, but I'm talking a sipped it through my teeth, like the smallest sip I could take. But when
what's the percentage on this one?
That's quite
58. Yeah, I mean, maybe it's because it's got quite a bit of cerealness to it, and it's quite alcoholic. New make is generally quite cereally and quite alcoholic.
I think that's what they're getting.
Because
I think it needs a bit longer to carry the alcohol.
Yeah, it is a little harsh. Because like the new makes we had at last two distilleries were almost like made to be new makes.
Yeah.
But a normal new make at most distilleries we've had, you can almost taste the barley in it still, can't you?
Yeah. I would suggest that if this was the first one up, it might have given me heartburn.
It is quite harsh.
No, it's not a criticism as such. It's just it's young.
More age, yeah.
It's a young for a single cask.
For 58%.
Yeah. To carry that much alcohol flavour.
It's a lot of alcohol. This is what people don't realise. Like 58% doesn't feel like a lot compared to 100.
Yeah.
But what spirits ever get up there?
Compared to 40.
Yeah, what I mean,
37.5.
if you think of most of the spirits, gin is barely like in the 30s and 40s generally.
Yeah. Well, flavoured flavoured gins are often like 28.
Yeah, sherries and fortified wines are generally in the teens or 20s.
Yeah, low 20s, yeah. Like vodka is
vodka's about the only other one.
Well, vodka by standard is 37%, and then some ones go to 40, and they've started doing 43 just.
What's tequila generally?
40ish, yeah.
Yeah, so
rum is one that goes high. You get high proof, overproof rum.
Can do, yeah. So really, whiskey is probably on average the strongest.
Yeah, more or less. Like rum and whiskey are the ones that come in it. I mean, there's absinthe, but like.
I always think absinthe is a bit of a special case because it's designed to be strong.
Yeah.
Like the whole point of it.
Yeah, so you get like high percentage vodkas, right? And they're generally very harsh.
Yeah.
Even the good stuff.
Almost like it's made to challenge you.
Yeah, it's not like this isn't like that, is what I was trying to get at. Like this 6 years is enough to cover it, but to cover it from that, but also like it's not
as good as it could be.
Yeah. I think if they'd have left it longer it would have moved.
If it was like a 10.
It might have been that that they've started to identify this acrid smell and it hasn't been there before, and they've been like, this is going to go downhill, we need to just bottle it.
Yeah, maybe we're saying 2, 3, 4 more years it'd been better. Maybe actually 2, 4 more years would have ruined it.
Yeah, we're not
in that particular cask that it was in.
We didn't get to sample the cask.
We're not master blenders, master bottlers. No. The people involved are generally very good at what they do.
Yeah.
But it's not usually a thing of a whim, is it? Like, oh, you know what? Fancy bottling one of them today? Yeah, go on then.
But I would say that was not better than Glamoury, their no age statement core basic one.
No. So,
which is.
I'd have said personally, if I'd have tried that, I'd have diluted it.
Yeah.
Rather than single casking it or cask strength in it. Personally.
Yeah, maybe that would have helped as well. But anyway, ready for scores?
Yes.
For me, this is a 2.5.
I think I agree. Which puts it below that peated one for me, but that peated one was actually all right, and
it
did what it did. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think this is that's not me saying it was bad. I'm just saying that it's. I'm just saying it's objectively worse than all the other ones we've had in this.
Yes. Yeah. Exactly.
I would say that I think it's been the worst of a good bunch rather than.
We are not Jim Murray. No. Our word has no weight. We're just going with what we feel.
That's not really very nice. Just because he's like a big heavy guy because he has to drink so much whiskey.
Just because he's like a man back to tank, but the tank is full of whiskey.
Yeah.
Right. Should we go to the last one?
I'm ready to go on to the last one if you are.
I was born ready. Probably not actually. Probably would killed me.
Aged again. Quite.
Any hints?
It's Space Age again, but I don't think you'll get it.
Oh, but you say things like that just hurts me,
I wouldn't have got it, is what I mean.
Oh, right. So you think you're better than me?
I think that we're very similar in what we know about the region.
Just because you got that one right for Sarah ever since. Yeah, fair enough. Go on then. What we got?
This is a 22-year-old Speyside.
Oh.
Now, remember when I said I thought that the Ember Gordon was in an interesting cask?
Yeah.
Got one again.
Oh, a second bourbon hogshead.
Yes.
Ah.
So, This is. So let me just tell you what it's from.
Yeah, I've already got it.
Okay, it's from Akroysk, which is. I don't know what it is. It's in Speyside somewhere.
It's not too far from Glentorkers, actually.
Well, there you go. They are apparently known for their spicy character, so it'll be interesting to see how this goes. But yeah, 22 years old from 1993.
If I was
Bottled
doing
by
this in my
Ratchet.
whiskey room, I could look at my map and tell you if it was visitable or not. But
You need
it
to
is
move
not.
your computer
Yeah.
or set up a home network so that you can just have your computer in a cupboard and turn on monitors all over the house. The guy at my work just did that.
Live like I'm in some kind of AI
Yeah,
future.
well, a guy at my work's just refurbing a house to move into. Well, he's moved in actually, but he's refurbing a house, trying to get it ready for a baby that's coming.
Right.
But he was like, the one thing that mattered for me was that we would that I could put in like a. Like there's a small awkwardly shaped cupboard under the stairs, so I had decided I was going to build it into like a server room so that I could just have hubs around the house for all of our. So each room would have like essentially like very good computer access, so they could have like media rooms basically based off of that. But his wife was more interested in doing something else with it, so he's had to like build the smallest possible server cabinet he could that would still provide enough airflow to make this dream of his work.
Nice. I mean, I just put like a Wi-Fi power line extender in.
Yeah,
That counts.
maybe.
Don't have a server, but
No.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, when I get the new PC to replace this one for this podcast, I will start taking it through into the whiskey room, I think.
Get on a wee wheelie chair, a wheelie table, or
I
whatever.
think take it through, and then we can have maybe video at some point, and the backdrop can be my whiskey room.
I was going to say it's probably for the best we don't have video right now because I have black eye and cheek. So.
Oh yeah, you've been upsetting the missus again.
Yeah, I was talking when I should have been listening. I zigged when I should have zagged at training last Sunday and took a full-on knee to the cheekbone, which then went hematoma, had a big egg, so I had to like ice compression to push that down, which was obviously super fun.
Yeah.
But then where's the blood going to go? Into the cavity of the eye socket. So
yeah.
Well,
contact sports will do that.
That is it. Yeah. I mean, I can't complain. I didn't have to go into work.
You're not complaining.
Yeah. I did have to do an interview for something over video, but we can discuss that later. But
did you wear an eye patch?
No, I just sort of didn't mention it and hoped that they wouldn't ask. But no, I did. I clarified it.
What's the discipline like in this job? Is what I like to say. It's a very welcoming team. Very friendly.
The first rule about this job is we don't talk about this job.
Yeah, I take it's kind of Jared Leto role in this.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. My brother made almost that exact same joke.
Did he?
Yeah. But yeah.
Is he on your? Is he on the trip that's coming up?
Yeah, it's his birthday.
Oh, is it?
On the Saturday. Yeah.
I didn't realize. All right. Yeah. I look forward to meeting him.
Yeah.
Learning as many secrets about you as I can.
Yeah. I mean, everyone they'll probably have secrets about me. That's the point, isn't it?
I was trying to remember all the embarrassing things he did at work, but to be honest, he didn't do that many. So.
It's going to be impossible to write a best man speech about me because everything I do is just God tier. So.
All about your humility, I think that's probably going to be writing about. Yeah. I don't envy your best man for having to do that.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, I mean, he might ask you. He's probably going to ask you for some.
I'll send him some of the messages he sent me on
work
throughout the years.
Get me fired too. Cool.
Just be like anyone who's got no security clearance, turn around.
Yeah.
You're not allowed to read this.
Yeah. So just me and you. Maybe a couple of work colleagues. But yeah.
Yeah, a couple of those. One of them might not anymore. She's maybe current job,
Maybe.
maybe.
We'll just ask her on the next call.
Yeah. And I
Yeah,
mean,
by the way, just so we know what level we can talk at here. Oh, you serious?
yeah, maybe that's what you ought to say at the wedding, just to let you know this is all at an official level.
Yeah.
If you need to take anything higher than that, please,
Yeah.
just, there's
Please
booths
consult
available.
Lauren.
Yeah, that'd work.
Yeah. Okay.
What are you getting from this one, smell wise?
I'm getting a sort of buttery cerealness.
It's quite high, like in the nose. I'm
Yeah.
struggling to pick out any depth to it. It's very cereally. Yeah, I'll give you that.
So right. Sorry for the.
That
I
was
literally just.
yeah.
Have you seen that kombucha meme
No.
where the woman's like sniffs it and she's like, and then she's like,
Yeah.
yeah. I basically just did that face.
Yeah.
So the nose that was given was delicately floral with hints of chili, lemongrass, kefir leaves, and coconut, which I was like, sounds
Jesus.
like a Thai curry, but
Yeah.
I'm not getting that. But then I sniffed again, and I was like, oh wait, actually there is a chilliness to it,
There's a
like fresh
chilliness to it. I
chilies.
have no idea what kefir leaves smell like, but
Yeah, not
yeah.
cultured enough.
Yeah, this is why
And I
we need to
could
bring in
probably
that
get
person you mentioned.
coconut. That would be butter. That could be.
Yeah, that would be the waxy butteriness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on, we'll go coconut. We'll be esoteric, depending on how you pronounce it. It's one of those words I've read but not really heard.
Yeah. There's a lot of them in my life. Like,
Yeah. I remember Deus Ex Machina. That was one of the ones that the friend that we were mentioning previous laughed at me for.
oh, yeah.
Because I said it as Deus Ex Machina. Because
Yeah.
I've only ever read it.
Yeah.
And she was like,
Yeah.
I
Don't
think
speak
you
Latin.
mean Deus Ex Machina. I didn't study Latin. Right.
Yeah. Did I stutter? Juice.
Juice.
But yeah. I saw a meme that was basically like someone being like, one of those things about being like neurodivergent shut-in who read a lot as a kid is quite often you know that a word fits in the sentence, but if someone asks you to define it, you have no idea what it actually means. Like to actually split it down into other words that describe the word, you're like,
My mum was like, "What does esoteric mean or esoteric mean?" I was like,
yeah,
"I kind of know, but
yeah,
it's like flamboyant,
yeah,
like
not
over the top."
yeah, like parallel to the norm.
Yeah.
So
You like
going in the same direction, but from a
you
different
take it one
angle.
step.
Yeah,
You take it one step too far. You're a bit. You know what I think of
yeah,
esoteric? I think of Helena Bonham Carter
yeah.
in a
It's
good
like
way because I think she's amazing.
yeah,
Um,
but it's like yeah, you're not. It's outside of the box,
yeah,
basically.
yeah. Anyway, should we taste some whiskies?
Uh, I could probably taste this one. Yeah, I'm
Hmm.
just trying to put it off because after this, that's the end of it. But
Mm.
just
It's quite
kidding. We're
fruity.
going. We've actually just done these three back to back to back, and then we're about to hit the last 20, 25. Woo-hoo.
The thing is, the amount of nonsense we speak, that's actually
People believe it.
believable that
Yeah.
we could be on whiskey 18. That's quite fruity on the initial taste, and then it gets a little bit almost umami, a little bit.
Mm.
I guess cereal. I guess.
It does have. Oh, there's actual heat in this. Like,
Yeah.
sorry, it just my mouth was like that is actual spice. Like not the flavor of spice. There was
Mm.
actual the punch in the like at the back of your teeth of like. But I don't know if that was just my mind playing tricks on me because we've been talking about
So it says, if you look up a Kroisk,
yeah.
it says it's got an almost singed character.
Mm.
Most obvious that new make but recedes with maturation, being replaced by a balanced honeyed cereal sweetness. I think a honeyed cereal sweetness is actually a pretty good description of this.
So the palette they had for this was spicy honeysuckle with tobacco, and I've written a word that I can't read anymore.
Okay.
No, lemon zest.
It is quite. Yeah, I think it's
very
honey
fresh.
cereal and chili.
Yeah.
I also think I
But
might
like
have a
that.
bowl of porridge after this, which is a really bad idea because that's like another 600 calories. But
You can make porridge less calories than that, but yeah.
well, you just have less of it. But
Yeah.
well, who
Or have
wants
to
a
make
bowl
it
of
with
porridge
water
that's
if
like
you're
a
savage.
small amount? You know, no one does that.
Making it in a pan with water is the.
Yeah, and I'll try and be good. Alcohol makes me hungry.
The problem I have is that I have porridge and I'm like, you know what I could put in this? A spoon of Biscoff.
Mm.
And then that's 400 calories added in.
So I do it with almonds and with dried fruit,
Yeah.
but yeah, spoon of Biscoff sounds very good.
Almonds are quite high calories as well, to be fair. But
I don't have many. They have like 10 or 11, but
yeah. I mean, it's just weird how much calories are in nuts.
Quite fatty, aren't they?
Yeah, I could have more chocolate per gram than nuts for the calories sometimes, depending on the nut.
Yeah,
Cashews are real bad.
Well, they're fatty, aren't they? That's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas chocolate is the sugar
But
that
they're like
kills you.
monounsaturated.
Yeah, it's good fats, but it's still high calorie fats. Well, fat is calorie dense.
But also fat is harder to. Weirdly, fat is harder to turn into fat. I think so. Like
it's harder to process. Yeah.
Better for you to if you're throughout the day, calorie burns are better off being fat. You need the sugar in your muscles for intense calorie burns.
I think macros are important to an extent, but I think a lot of it just boils down to calories.
I fully like the majority of it, but like macros are more important for actual functioning than for
because fat is
muscle repair, muscle function.
Because like your brain is like fat, isn't it? So
yeah, but if you don't have enough sugars, your muscles will not work very well, and if you don't have enough protein, your body doesn't repair properly. So that's why macros matter. But actually, for losing or gaining weight, it is literally like how much energy have you expended, how much energy have you consumed.
Yeah, you could just eat fat as long as you're eating less. You'd feel very ill after quite a while because, like you say, you won't be able to repair yourself. And
you're just drinking oil.
Yeah. But yeah, technically, it would work purely from a fat loss perspective, a weight loss perspective.
Yeah, it might not be fat that you lose. Probably be a lot of muscle as your body.
Yeah, it'd probably be like mental health.
Yeah, and your body decides that catabolism will give it more protein to.
Yeah, you don't really want to get into catabolism rather than anabolism.
Yeah.
But yeah. In the background of all this nonsense, I finished
that. Because neither one of us is an actual nutritionist.
No, I'm not a sports scientist or nutritionist.
Also, most nutritionists are like 70% of this is magic.
Yeah,
we have a broad idea what might work, but every single person is different. So
you've got to be careful because there's a lot of pseudoscience in there. So I think a dietitian is not an actual thing, whereas a nutritionist is. Like a sports scientist is an actual scientific degree. There's science behind it, and then there's a couple of others where it's just not. Anyone can sign up for it and basically be anyone. I think it's anyone can be a dietitian. You just have to sign up to
the online.
Yeah.
Diploma that takes 6 minutes.
Yeah. So
can you write your name?
As with always, just be careful what you listen to and find what works for you.
Yeah, don't take our advice on it.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't take our advice on it. When sober, don't take our advice on it when 6 whiskeys in would be an even more solid bit of advice.
I would definitely agree. That would be just good advice for your life.
Yeah, if someone's giving you advice 6 whiskeys in, it's probably wrong. Yeah. And advice is only worth so much anyway. Because no one lives your life for you.
We ready for a score?
Yeah, after my philosophical waxings. Yeah.
Yes.
I would give that a 4.
I'm going to go 3.5, I think.
3.5, yeah. You're a hater of a Kroisk.
No, I think the problem was.
I will send an email to a Kroisk being like, my friend hates your whiskies.
I think my problem was that I had the problem of having expectation before going in.
Yeah, I mean, in terms of I'm looking at overall scores. So looking at your scores, the first 6 were the best 6.
Yeah, that
Then
was a strong start.
it was
I'm
a
very
really
much
good
hoping for a
6.
strong finish too. Like if
Yeah.
I was them, that's how I would do it. I would start off good, so people are like, "Oh, just starting my whiskey calendar at 6," and then towards Christmas, when people are thinking,
So
"Will I buy
this
this again?" If you come in with like a strong 5 at the end, then people will be like, "Well, those last 5 are great. I'm having that again."
This is how it went for you. You went first 6. You had 2 4.5s, 3 4s, and a 3.5, which is ridiculous for 6.
Yeah,
Second 6, you had 3 4s,
yeah,
and then the rest below that. This one, you've had 2 4s, and the rest below that.
yeah,
I went first one. I think I matched you basically 2. Yeah, matched you 2 4.5s, 3 4s. Second 6, I had 2 4s to your 3, and then this one. Oh, this one's done better. I had 2 4s and a 4.5.
yeah. But I think we're both in an agreement that there was the
The
best
first
6
the
were the
six
best
was the
6
the
as
best
a
6.
6 so far.
Yeah.
But I'm hopeful for the remaining.
Those first 2 literally the first 2 that we had from
Yeah,
this calendar were just amazing.
that's how you
Really,
would.
really good.
So I'm not to be cynical, but if this is a product, right? So
Yeah.
a product designed to be consumed over a 25-day period, and so
I mean, that first the Tom and Tool 15-year-old, which was the first one, was amazing, and then the second one was designed for you because it was a Sauternes finish.
yeah. But the logical way to do this is start strong and then pepper in good stuff as you go through and then finish strong. And then
Yeah.
people remember not having very many days in a row where they weren't super overwhelmed, and they'll remember at the end they'll get recency bias, and at the start they'll use the recency bias at the start will lead them to mention it to lots of people that's what they're doing.
Compared to the other advent calendar I had, which had some pretty good whiskies in, this is still way above.
Yeah.
Way above. They were
Yeah,
like 3s at best.
Yeah.
There were more, actually, no, because there was a Glenfarclas 105 in there, and that's a 4.
Yeah, but they're like 3. They're in the 2.5 to 4 sort of
Yeah.
brackets, and we've had a few 4.5s already here,
We have.
and a lot of 4s.
Anyway, we should probably wrap this episode up.
Yeah, it's been rolling for a while, about an
It
hour.
has an hour and a bit, as always.
Yeah.
But yes, thank you for listening.
Yeah, thank
we
you
hope
very
you
much.
enjoyed.
We've
The
got
next
one more of
one
these to come.
will be slightly different, maybe
Bit longer, but yeah.
a bit longer.
It's also the ultimate episode. Apparently, that's how it works.
Yep, it's definitely what you've been wanting. These longer episodes from us.
Yeah.
So
We
listen.
are known for our punchy content. So
that's it. Yeah, basically a shot. Yes. See you next time.
Yeah. Cheerio.
Bye.
Bye.